What is going on, everybody? My name is Alex Freeberg, and I am back with another watch review. Now, if you saw my unboxing of this video, I really liked how it looked. I liked the packaging. I liked how it came in. Now I've gotten a chance to wear it for about 2 weeks, and I'm going to give you some of my feedback. So, I bought this online on eBay from a distributor or seller in Lithuania. And that is really the only place that I could find it. I went on alpha.com on their actual official website, and they did not have any available. I could not find anything on basically any other website. So I bought this for $120 from the eBay vendor. And if you search for this watch, you will get the same vendor because there's really the only one person selling it. I had to wait an additional 3 weeks because this watch was sold out on several different occasions, and I had and I checked every single day. And even when I bought it, I went to go check it the day it got posted. The guy messaged me and said, this is sold out, so you're gonna have to wait until next shipment. And I was like, great, it is what it is. So I finally got it in. It cost me 120 bucks, and I really liked the style of it, that Explorer style. I liked the sapphire crystal, and I liked some of the dimensions of it. Now, I originally thought it was 39.5 millimeters because that's what it has posted on the eBay description, and I made sure of that. This is actually 36 millimeters. It's the standard original size. Excuse me, I am I am a little under the weather, have a little bit of cough, so excuse me if I make some noises during the video. And it is 36 millimeters, which wears a lot smaller than 39.5 millimeters, a lot smaller. And when I put it on my wrist, I was originally disappointed. I was like, I paid 120 bucks. I expected a certain size, and I got a smaller size. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm still doing the video. But, in terms of the longevity of how I'm going to wear it, that does change things. So let me get into some of the specs, and then I'll tell you some of my thoughts. So we do have a 36 millimeters in diameter. We have about a 43 millimeters in lug to lug, which is a long lug to lug. If you notice, that is long in proportion to its actual diameter, its actual size. We have 20 millimeters lug width and 12 millimeters thick. We have a signed crown right there. We actually have a signed case back. If you can see that. It's not focusing. It's focusing right here. Actually, we have a signed clasp as well. And this is just a regular deployant clasp. I'll get to that in a little bit, but you can see that alpha right there. And it has some of the specs like stainless steel, automatic. This is a screw down crown. So it comes out and you can hand wind it, if you can hear that. That's nice. First position is supposed to be changing the time, but it is giving me, oh, okay, maybe second position. I don't know what that first position is then. There's two positions. That first position doesn't really do anything. Anyways, let me screw it back in. So as you can see on the dial, we have that classic 369, and it has alpha with the logo 1993 printed, and automatic, water resistant, 5 atmospheres. 5 atmospheres means 50 meters of water resistance. So not a ton, but it's enough for what you're going to use it for. Let's look at this bracelet real quick. So obviously, you have that this polished surface, these long lug to lugs. You have these polished sides. This case back right here, which has the brushed as well as the polished. That's a design feature that they did. But overall, it's very nice, very pleasing. It looks really good. I have no problems with how it looks. And sapphire crystal. So, huge plus. Let's look at the bracelet real quick, and then we'll get to the movement. So, the bracelet is all brushed, which I love. It has solid end links, and it came with pins that are perfectly acceptable. And then we get to two things which are tough. First off, these are screw-in links. And if you see this link right here, I could not get it out. It just kept spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And so I had to move my micro adjustments from here all the way up here to account for that link, which I was going to take out. So thank goodness they had, what is this, 6 micro adjustments, but I could not get it out. And the other pins were not easy to get out either. I actually contacted the seller and said, hey, do you have, an extra bracelet that I could have? And he replied, yes. So he's sending me that to me because I cannot get this one smaller, and it doesn't wear perfect when you have to put the micro adjustments up that far. It does wear a little strange on the wrist. So thank you, seller, for being accommodating. So let's look at this clasp. This is not a good clasp. It's just your typical, let me close it up. It's your typical deployant style clasp. And with that, I'm going to put it on my wrist in just a second. With that, it doesn't feel like it's going to come off your wrist, but it definitely doesn't. You have to push really hard to get it on there, and so it's not perfect. It's very tinny. It's not really solid feeling, so not my favorite, but it gets the job done and it gets it on there. So this is what it looks like on my wrist. I actually think it is a good size for the most part. I wish it was the 39 millimeters. I don't think that this is the perfect size for me, but I like it. I definitely don't hate it. So I'm not super upset, but that's not what I paid for. So it is what it is. But as you can see, those lugs are very long in proportion to the size. So I have a 6.5 inch wrist. So you can see that 43 millimeters. I got plenty of, or 43 millimeters lug to lug. I got plenty of room on either side, so it looks totally fine. So let me take this off. This clasp is hard to get off. There we go. And let's talk about the movement real quick. So I've got a few different reports on what this movement is, but basically it's supposed to be a seagull movement. I actually have really enjoyed this movement so far. It's not very noisy. The crown action is very good, except for that whatever I was experiencing earlier. Yeah, that first position, whatever that is. I have no idea what that is, but it hand winds very well. It moves very well. It screws back in very easily. And so I actually haven't had any problems with it. So far, I've really liked it. And I am not a person who likes a noisy rotor. And so this one is fairly decent, and so I really do like it. The Lume. Let's talk about the Lume real quick. I got the Lume, and I was not expecting much. But let me tell you something. The Lume on this is actually really good. And I will post the Lume Shot in the description. It's always on my Instagram, so it's a link to my Instagram. So you can find that there. So go check it out. It is really bright, lasts a good while. So I have no problems with that at all. Overall, I think this watch is very good. If you have a smaller wrist and you want that Explorer style, this is a fantastic watch for you. Personally, I think it's a little small for my taste. I like to wear this to work, and I'm in lots and lots of meetings, and I have lots of friends now because I just changed jobs who wear watches, and they personally and I'm starting to gravitate towards. I like just a little bit more substantial. The 36 millimeters is a good size for me, but I like the 38 to 40 range. That's kind of my sweet spot right now. So this probably is, if I were to revisit this watch in like a year and my tastes have changed just very slightly to a little smaller, this would probably be a perfect watch. But currently where I'm sitting is I really do like the 38 to 40 millimeters. So that's my current state, my current bias. One thing to note is if you're looking for a really, really solid bracelet, this is not it. It's not a good bracelet. These pins are very poor. I had one that literally just stripped. I barely got it out. And you can't just push it through on the other side either because there's no hole. So if you get a dud like me and you can't push it in, you are short out of luck. So who's this watch for? It's someone who loves the Explorer style, doesn't want to pay, $5,000-$10,000 for one, but wants an automatic movement, and a good looking one at that. I genuinely think this is a great value for $120. So if you have $120 lying around and you want this style of watch, I highly recommend it. It's very, very aesthetically pleasing. It looks really good on the wrist. It wears just a little bit bigger than 36, I think, because of that long lug to lug. So it maybe wears like a 37. I don't think it wears like a 38. The automatic movement's really good. The lume is surprisingly good. So you're getting a lot for your money here. And there are lots of videos on this watch for good reasons, because people like the style, they like the value for money. And it's sapphire crystal. You can't. I've already knocked this a few times and there's no scratches. So all good there. That is my review of the Alpha Explorer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment. If you have this watch and you disagree with me, let me know why. If you have a suggestion on a watch that I should buy, let me know. I'd love to hear it. You guys have a great day. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I am posting once a week on the weekend, every weekend. And I've been doing that for the past about 3 months now. So I appreciate your support and have a great day. Goodbye.